Hello, everyone. My name is Markiplier.
And I'm
Hello, everybody. My name is Mark.
Well, you got
Alright.
beaten to a bit
yeah,
by Aiden of
Okay.
all people.
and
So-
I'm Casey Burger.
I was talking. Just kidding. So in this episode, we are through Discord going to have Brian Carl of Casey Burger fame. Well, Try is not of Casey Burger fame, but Casey Burger
I
is
am
of Casey Burger
TwilitOkami.
fame.
I am my own fame because I disagreed with a person over the internet. His fans decided to hate mob me. So, yeet.
Speaking of hate mobs, so they're going to be explaining to me what the deal is. Who is the commentary community? What are the factions that make up
airline food?
Here.
What is the deal with airline food?
Okay, let me explain.
Is Seinfeld a commentary channel?
We're gonna wait for
The
it.
Seinfeld commentary channel. True though, but I think I can explain to you the commentary community in one word. Ooh!
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So let me get to explaining
It's a very
some factions
concise answer.
now that he's giving you the overview.
Who are these factions?
Alright, so there are two that are currently on fire, which are the easiest to understand. The first one is the art commentary community, where they talk about whatever subjects while they do speed paints in the background and blah, 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 blah. Usually they end up coexisting with the drama commentary community. Where where pretty much their entirety can be summed up by here's the motherfucking tea.
What? So there are not only
I'm not
channels
done.
but entire channels.
Entire
Hold on, there are entire channels that focus merely on talking about the drama between other channels.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, let us continue.
Okay, then because this all started up when you had us try to when we told you that Dual-Tones also was one. There is the slideshow commentary community that has the avatar set, like the ones you had Carl draw you.
Right.
Yep.
And with those, it's usually just about any kind of topic, but usually it also usually includes their own writing, skits, lore. It's a little bit more of a show than actually talking about other people, and usually it's either about silly stuff like, oh, this is what we think about Pokemon, or this is what we think about Yu-Gi-Oh! This is what I'm interested in and what we like to make videos about.
It's not exclusively about other YouTubers.
Yeah, that's more of a drama.
See, that's a format that I'm more familiar with.
Yeah. Then there's the gaming commentary channels, where it's like the art commentary channels, except just take any first-person shooter video game and talk over it.
Leafy.
Think of
Yeah, he kind of
kickstarted
the whole commentary community.
I've seen a couple of channels similar to that. I've seen the format where they go like, "All right, guys, so we're gonna be talking about the drama surrounding The Last of Us 2. Now, I've never played The Last of Us 2," and then they continue the video.
Yeah, essentially.
Despite that should have, being the supposed ending.
And that brings us to today's sponsor, Skillshare.
Guys, if you're looking to get skills done, then, you can learn how to do tons of things on Skillshare.com/buttpirates.
We are not sponsored. The Friendzone podcast is not sponsored by Skillshare at the moment.
You will not get anything by looking up Skillshare.com/buttpirates. You will
if
get
anything,
nothing.
They may charge you more money.
God damn it.
Lamau. Okay. Yeah, but when it comes to most of the other ones, they mostly the art stuff will either be about other people's drama or be about art drama, because of course. And then we have the oldest section that the oldest section that has been absorbed into the commentary community, deviant art ranters, which is apparently a part of the community according to some people to the point where it's agreed upon, and I'm just like, oh no.
That sounds vintage. That's some vintage.
It is.
That is some vintage anime ass shit.
Even
I just tried to imagine people in their 60s just going like, and here we're looking at the Sonic. I say the 60s. That's the. I meant to say from the 60s, but I ended up saying. You get the idea. The people who are
boomers.
To put this into perspective, Solar Sands started out as a DeviantArt rant channel.
Yeah, I have seen in my recommended some of his older videos. I like the newer stuff where he just decides to pick up a topic and make it.
Yeah, although I'd consider him one of the better ones because he never actually showed the artists' names. If it was any of the really bad ones, he would not show the names of.
Okay, so
anyway,
that should cover the very basic these are these factions. These are all of the old major factions. So there's going to be a lot that don't make as much sense because they're tinier subdivisions. Just to be noted, out of all the ones we named, the smallest one is actually the slideshow commentary community.
Is it because the videos require slightly more effort?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. Because it's really easy to just pick up footage of something you already have and just blab into a mic for an hour and either cause or report on some drama. Rather than making a show thing. But anyway, I'm not calling anybody out right now. We're not going to be pointing any fingers. This is merely an educational video on trying to explain this Game of Thrones-esque situation. Now, how did the combat start? I know that there are multiple wars, but what's the earliest war we can probably get into? I think that'd be a good way to start.
Carl, where should we start? Should we go about this on the thing of going through Jar's timeline, or do we just go through a general timeline?
Well, that's kind of hard because internet drama has kind of existed ever since the internet was a thing.
Well,
true.
But also I'm just I've been technically observing this community for I think pretty much since the start of college, which was 3 to 4 years ago. So I'm sitting here trying to fucking remember everything, and I'm fuck me, I'm the one person who doesn't have a sense of time passing.
Well, I guess we can start with Jar's video because that's fresh in our minds.
Though I'm more wondering if we should start off with what happened with Pentagrin and Spoctor, because that kind of also.
Oh right.
Whatever's the most earliest in the timeline that would have started other events.
Okay. So do you know who Spoctor is?
I just as if I don't know anybody here. Just
okay.
As if
he was another commentary rant community person, And
did he do anything special? Is he
yes.
The something guy
Well, his avatar was a scaly. That's what most people remember him as.
Oh wait, is he the one that made the Yandere Dev videos?
Do you realize how little that narrows it down? Everyone made a Yandere Dev video.
Okay, the one that goes Yandere Simulator will never be finished.
Again,
he's got the scaly is green.
Yes.
Hold on, I have to look at the freaking video. Okay.
To make a long story short, he was like a very popular figure in the community, and then another popular figure named Pentagrin, if this name's any bells, accused him of being a pedo.
Accused who of being a pedo?
Spoctor.
Oh, right.
On a baseless accusation with no proof. So obviously,
are we going to be seeing a lot of that?
Yes. So obviously, everyone in the community turned on him.
Right.
And then everyone was like, wait a minute, this is nothing but lies.
You lied to me. Online. Yeah. You can't do that. Oh, okay. No, I don't know Spoctor. Oh, wait. No, wait, I do know Spoctor. Because I saw the horrific Yandere Simulator coding video. That's what I saw. Because I saw somebody went into the actual coding, and I was like, oh, I gotta figure this. I gotta find out who this is. He has a lizard head.
Yes.
In real life.
Yes.
All right, but anyway, so that's who Spoctor is.
Yes. Well, I'm glad.
If this is going to be in a video format, we're probably going to be putting their little heads in a corner or something.
Yeah.
At least for the ones that we are, for the purpose of this explanation, we're not trying to start any attacks here.
Yes. So long story short, then people that were on his side started coming out and saying, like, there has been no proof given. All it's been is just people saying it. And then people turning on him. And once that came out, it's like, wow, you guys are really, like, the people that called him out were like, the people that called him out were called out, and it's like, wow, you guys are really shitty people, actually.
Who's the him? You gotta be careful with the pronouns.
It was Spoctor. And
so the people that called out Spoctor.
Yeah, right. The people that called out Spoctor got called out, namely Pentagrin. And it's like, wow, you made this baseless accusation. And pretty much she left the internet, and then everyone else that was in it that agreed with her was also, like, heavily criticized, ridiculed, because you just believed her with no proof.
Yeah, it was a bit cringe.
Yeah.
They posted cringe on main, and that they paid the price, is what you're trying to say. Yeah.
To a degree, yes. So, I guess that's a good overview, like a little... I don't want to say it's like a sample or an appetizer, because that kind of makes it sound that makes it sound bad, or like, I don't know.
That's an example of the kind of stuff that happens here.
Yeah.
Somebody will accuse another party of something, and either they have evidence or they don't have it.
Yep.
Wait, is that the entire community? Did I just solve it?
Yeah, that's pretty much the whole community.
Alright, that's gonna be it for this episode, guys. Don't forget to smash that like button.
God damn it.
Alright, no, but let's get into more specifics. Let's talk about...
Okay.
So we know the modus operandi of these factions, the weaponry that they like to use. So who are at the current juncture, what are the current factions currently at war? And how many times am I going to say current?
Currently, well, we just got cleared of like the big war recently, which was the creep show art shit, which I've definitely told you about before, so I won't.
I've seen that in my recommended, so that tells me that that's like some sort of Avengers level threat. Like that seems like it was a big event.
She was considered pretty much the biggest head of the art drama community. Like, she had the biggest following, the most subscribers. Long story short, she was a stalker, doxer, and any other bad thing that ends with that you could think of. Extremely... At least they're not
an ist.
Yeah.
I find that ists are far worse.
Oh no, she was a few ists too. Extremely racist and homophobic too. And she threatened a lot of... She would start drama with people, and then like threaten them with like giving away their personal information if they made a response to it.
Okay. So how did
yes.
this play out?
Well, then it came out that, wait a minute, everything that she says has been a lie. And then it came out like all the stuff, all her doxing and alt accounts and shit came out, and it showed just how like really horrible of a person she was. And then she tried to give a non-apology of like, oh, my computer was hacked. Which no one believes, because why would someone hack your computer just to say shit on the internet?
Unless you're like the president. Or Kanye.
Yeah.
The president and Kanye, those are the only two people that are going to get hacked.
Right. So now we have the that was pretty much the big Avengers level threat, like you said. And now Just a Robot came out, and he was like, hey, there's a lot of people that like did the same shit to me, and I'm finally coming out about it because it's been 5 years and I deserve to get to speak about it.
Okay, so this is the speaking out video.
Yeah.
Is this another trend that appears? Because I think I've heard of these kinds of things. Where it'll be like,
there is some kind of horrible event where someone has been proven to be an abuser. There is a big movement of people speaking out, whether it's true or not, about their interactions with someone.
like, it's not very common that I watch drama videos themselves, but it's only when it comes to like, if a channel is basically saying like, hey, this is my perspective on how this certain thing happened, even if I don't really know what that certain thing is, I'm like, oh god, I gotta figure out what's going on here. Because, internet, gotta get the clicks, press button, input, food dispenser. You get the idea.
True. Yo, true.
One of the cases where I'm thinking of was, and this is an isolated case, this wasn't actually a battle royale, but it happened within the voice acting community. It was Chris Voiceman. He was the one that made the, you'd know him from the Leon video?
Yeah, you showed me him.
Yeah, apparently he got into some hot water because there were some accusations made against him of, the bad stuff that these people normally get accused. And then he had a, coming clean video where he basically revealed that these accusations were coming from somebody who was a bit of a literal actual sociopath. And that these, they were all completely accusations, and he had evidence to back it. And then Gianni Matrogano, who's, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correct, but he's one of my favorite voice actors. And he, gave him support, saying like, holy crap, I didn't know this happened. Because he was against him at first, because obviously you wouldn't want to side with somebody who got accused with all that stuff. But yeah, now they're cool, essentially.
That's why I always that's why you always want to get like both sides of the story.
Yeah, but it's the hard thing about it that I've found is that the audience really doesn't like waiting. People don't like to, they want to hear, if there are two YouTubers that are connected, or I should just say influencers or social media personalities, but YouTubers, I'm going to say for the sake of this. If there are two that are connected in some sort of way, and then something shifts, then the audience really has to know, okay, how does my headcanon hold up? Is everybody still good? Or are you supporting this person? Are you not? They have to know, immediately. And that's harder when you get bigger, because then you have a lot more
If
eyes
you don't
on you.
like things, just
And
get the fuck
you know,
out.
you're gonna get
If you don't like
the
things,
people that are
shut
like,
your
well, you're
fucking
a monster
mouth.
if you support them,
If you don't
even
like
if
things,
the
no one really
like
cares.
whole
'Cause you are not
situation,
the ruler,
the
and
whole
life
story
isn't
isn't
fair.
Oh, hasn't come to light. I almost smacked my dragon off of my desk. It's an actual dragon, not the, you know, that kind.
A good
What color?
dragon.
A good dragon. It's I think it is a brass dragon. Yeah, it has the ear frills of a brass dragon.
A brass dragon. That funky dragon.
Dragon.
I
Does it have
tried.
4 legs or 2?
It's got all 4. It's just a little dragon. I got it for Christmas one day, or one Christmas.
Christmas one day.
I don't have the best speech patterns, but anyway, so Just a Robot. He came out about horrible things that were being done or attacked toward him. Were these other channels in the community, and which community is it?
It's complicated because this was before he was just a robot.
This was his old. This all happened on the start of his oldest account, and then because his newest account is actually his 3rd account, even though it's the same name as the 2nd account, because the 2nd account got hacked and permabanned.
So, you know.
To put it
So
simply,
where do we begin with it?
For Jar's situation, he was part of a DeviantArt community. Because that's the whole thing.
So it goes back to the ancient faction.
To the cesspool.
The elves.
Yes.
These are going to be the elves, and then the half elves can be the art community, because they probably have some closer ties to the DeviantArt one.
Usually, I will say this though. Just a Robot had said that that his first account was basically like him as a human, and now everything else has just been the robot.
So
basically,
to
put it
in
bluntly,
canon, before he was a robot.
Yeah. When he was more than just a robot.
Hence the name. Anyway.
All right, Twy, can you take over for this part of me? I gotta grab my laundry.
Yeah, no problem. I literally let you take over because I was getting food.
All right. Tag out.
Hell yeah. All right. So how it starts is, in his own account, Just a Robot was known by CO, and he was in this DeviantArt group. He was a dude who didn't have a lot of friends, had a lot of mental issues going on, and he was like 17 at the time.
Right.
Which, as we know on the internet, is the worst damn age to be.
Yeah, honestly, we should just restrict all internet access until you're 30.
That doesn't
I think
work!
that's the smartest thing to do.
That means
Do not
Heather is
touch
still there! And she's the
Do
reason
not-
any of this happened!
Well, you also got to think, were they on the internet before that, though?
Who knows?
See, because it's like, if you're raised on the internet, you're already infected.
Okay.
Regardless.
So, to
It's
put
just
it
sad.
bluntly, there is this faction that is pretty much... well, you know the musical Heathers, right?
Right. Very familiar.
Imagine if that was just a group on the internet.
I can imagine it. I think.
And imagine that there's an actual 30-year-old woman in charge of it named Heather.
Now, did they do an entire musical number?
No. Not to my
Okay,
knowledge,
no.
no.
You're telling me that this entire commentary community, there aren't music numbers? Unless you count diss tracks. Are there diss tracks? I'd be down for some diss tracks.
I don't know. That's usually a let's player area or a music person's area. I don't fuck with that shit much.
I'm fairly certain that okay, so little tangent. There's a YouTube personality, uh, whom I'm a huge fan of, and his name is Northern Lion, and he's I think he and another channel they do the same similar things. Just they play indie games primarily. I think. But I think they came out with diss tracks against each other, and I need to figure out if that's actually true. Oh god, I think it is. Hold on.
Can I?
Okay, you can continue.
Thank you. Now, this all starts with a drama called the Princess Emily drama. No, not Princess Emily, Princess Elizabeth. Apologies. This is Princess Elizabeth was the 13-year-old I was telling you about before. And she was the
All right.
one who, during when she was upset, said the word gunshot in a Google Hangout, and to which this 30-year-old woman named Heather began to weep uncontrollably and loudly and annoyingly, while other people were yelling at the 13-year-old for making the 30-year-old cry. And apparently someone was laughing. I'm not fully sure who the fuck was laughing during that call. I still don't know. And the
You
13-year-old
laughing?
is just fucking confused.
It would have been me if I was there.
Bruh.
Somebody said the word gunshot, and you're laughing.
You're not valid, actually. So,
Okay, so
So you get the situation so far, right?
right. 13-year-old just says a thing, and the other apparently is very easily, I want to say, triggered in the real sense, although I don't know how real the situation is. I don't know how sensitive I should be, because it's
None.
looking like this person is probably
None.
not. Yeah,
If you are
I
30 and not smart enough to remove yourself from a place where people can easily get you your triggers, you are not fucking real.
also you could probably leave call at that point if
Yes.
you want to just like you should probably the mature thing would probably be to like distance yourself, and then once you've settled down, you discuss with the person who said the thing rather than
That
just kind of
requires them to
like
be a good person, Luther.
I know I'm just for anybody out there that wants to know like what can you do, what should you do. Like
I need
I
to
see
stop
I used to
using real
be.
names for the podcast. God damn it.
Don't worry, it's been said enough. But like, because I used to when I was younger, the communities I would go around are the and I'm it hurts me to say this, but the poning SJWs kinds of things, the whole get wrecked liberal, that whole situation. That used to be where I would like to gravitate
Oh, so
because
you know
I feel
Neolithic Snake?
no, I
Damn.
don't.
That's literally his whole thing.
Well, yeah, but that's a lot of channels things. And some were better than others. There are some that I still watch, but that's because they've leaned more toward talking about different types of politics stuff because the whole culture
Tangent.
around that. What?
We're on a tangent. Just bring it back.
Bring it back. All right, all right. But point is that I've my exposure to people getting, like I personally want to be more sensitive about what I say, but that's just because I want to be courteous of people, and I
I
find
mean,
that funny.
that's fine,
I
but when
used
we're
to.
discussing the history of the CC, it doesn't fucking matter because at the end of the day, this is the shit that fucking happened. At the end of the day, it's about people doing shit that is fucking horrible and they had not done the appropriate actions. Like, to fucking be adults because that's the whole point. They wanted to be shitty people. They wanted to fuck over a 13-year-old, and then when the 17-year-old came in to defend them, they proceeded to wreck his life, constantly putting on accusation after accusation, manipulating, breaking him down, calling him annoying because he just wanted to talk to someone.
Somehow my laundry still isn't dry.
How in the fuck?
I put
You
it
know-
in at noon, and it is still wet.
You checked your lint trap, right?
Yeah. So I had just ended up just throwing them into 3 dryers. I know that's
You
like...
better not overload it though.
Okay, so because
No.
Luther went on tangents, I've only literally gotten to just explaining the first goddamn Heather incident.
Okay,
Oh.
well, you have to realize this is a podcast. Tangents is what we do.
Tangents
Yeah.
doesn't help when we're trying to get to the point of explaining things to you, Luther, and then you fucking fluff it out super hard.
Hey, that's just
Wow.
more space for ad revenue.
It's more time for ad revenue, woman. That's the point.
We ain't gonna get monetized. What you fucking saying?
Well, yeah, but you got to get into the habit of it.
Right.
You gotta start that stuff early. Come on, keep up.
Why don't you keep up,
Anyway.
motherfucker? I'm over here with, like, getting ready for the next topic, and you're fucking over there looking at the flowers, you pussy.
I'm not looking at the flowers. I'm describing them for money.
Anyway, continue on. Before.
money.
Okay. So, I'm not going to go into great detail discussing all the horrible manipulative tactics they've done to Jar. Mainly because, if you do, you should watch his video, which I assume we'll have the link in the description. Because, duh.
Link in the
Yeah.
description. You know what else is down there? There's a subscribe button.
I will
nearby.
fucking
Whoa.
end you.
And a like button too. Whoa.
No. They need to know that they can subscribe.
You
We're not
are
in the
allowed
middle
to
of-
subscribe.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Twy. Continue.
I swear to God, I'm going to rip out both of your spines.
You gotta listen. You gotta get used to this. This is part of the game. All right. YouTube's a business.
But I like my spine where it is.
Too bad.
I like my spine.
Okay.
I was good at it.
Yes, but you want to know there's a difference between changing the subject and fucking actually engaging in the conversation. Alright, whatever. Fucking point is, to be blunt, a lot of the stuff Jar went through reminded me of my old friend group, and the fact that they even made him think that he himself was a monster, just like my friend group did, literally had to make me stop watching that video at 16 minutes in. Because that's how bad it got. And that hour is like almost two, was it an hour 20 minutes or an hour 50?
Like an hour 20. I have it up right now.
You know that
That's an
commentary
hour 20
channel.
and I had to stop at 16 minutes. I want you to realize how hard that shit hits. It was really fucking horrible. And the fact that it didn't even stop there and just continued to get worse because all of it was shit that he was trying to fix like a responsible adult behind the scenes. And they just constantly kept doing shit to call him out, and everyone kept saying that he was a horrible person even though he was listening to what people were telling him to do. To like fix the situation. It was so bad. Eventually to the point that he got off DA altogether because he had made a separate transitioning account that was on DA because he had to ditch his whole entire first account because he got fucking doxxed. So, had to go leave for safety reasons at first. Then he had to come in and clean all of that other shit up. And then on his new account, he deleted it because as soon as his old account was gone, the Heather Pack proceeded to start talking shit about him even more. And, trying to take responsibility. Oh, this fucker's gone. Look what we did. We made him run off. Pussy, asshole. You fucking confirming you did it by leaving.
isn't that some stones in a glass house though?
Yes.
Yep.
That's that just be like, bro. Here's how you get them to stop. You just say gunshot again. And they're done. They're gone. They won't even watch this video. Like that's how you stop it. It's that easy.
Just comment gun under everything.
Yeah, dude, it's like the orcs from Warhammer. You just gotta convince them a gun is there and they'll duck. Oh, I love this.
Now, like, imagine, like, you're... Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna do a tangent to this because I just thought of this and now I want to make this...
Oh, who's on the tangents now?
I'm sorry. I'm at least gonna say it as a tangent before I fucking do it. And
You can
besides,
continue, but I got my lips. I got my lips pursed in the.
Besides, you girl, like, no, it's fine, and I'm like, fine, if it's fine, I would do it too. So shut your whore mouth.
Then do it. Go right ahead.
Then shut your whore mouth.
Guys,
By the way,
we're
I
all
am
friends
dating
here.
this person, so I am the only person who gets to
Go to your room,
his
Clyde.
whore mouth.
Oh, I hate it when they fight.
Go home.
Oh. So you were saying?
All I thought of, it's like really fast. All I thought of is a druid who summons a duck, who every time he yells out "duck" to a person he hates, he has the duck laying on their head. Until there's a guy with a gun aiming at that guy, and he yells "duck." So the guy just looks at that druid with like a really face, and then his head gets blown off. That's all I had. That's all I was gonna fluff it out. Jesus.
Odd setup for a joke, but okay.
It would have been fine if Luther didn't start his thing.
Listen. Everything is fine. Never regret. You don't. You got a podcast. No regrets. No regrets podcast. That's the name of this.
This is the Friendzone podcast.
This is a McDonald's.
This is an Arby's.
Lettuce on the McChicken.
Lettuce.
Lettuce on the McChicken.
Arby's on the podcast.
Yo, let's get Arby's on this podcast.
Dude, if we could get literally all of Arby's.
Anyway, moving on.
Moving
Yeah,
right
so
along.
last we left off, Just a Robot was harassed by the Heather clan, and he got doxxed and was removed from that community and the website in general. So, what happened after that?
Well, when he came back, he was sucked into a certain other drama that just brought him into getting back into the community that, threw him out in the first place. Which at this point had evolved into the commentary community. Yay!
I repeat, how I describe the commentary community. Ooh.
Which I'm going to probably have to go back to the video to refigure out the prior video to figure out what that was. But I believe, his old videos were mostly about debunking other people's videos, like when there's shit that made no nonsense, because dudes like criticizing things. So in the early days of Jar, he was criticizing other people in the community, trying to remember. I don't remember many of his big ones, mainly because I was introduced to the community through Doodle Tones, who was one of the people he actually had a mini drama with over a Pokemon video. Because the main thing was them fighting about if Groudon could destroy the world or not.
Fucking Pokemon fans, man.
Pokemon fans be like human decency.
They're all the fucking same. Like, goddamn, every single one of them, you start cutting off their fingers and they all beg you to stop, and they all say the same, I don't want to die.
Bruh.
Freaking cringe, man.
Except for one dude, and he's like, yay, I get to be a Gengar!
What?
Sure, kid. Sure, you get to be a Gengar.
That's like on par with the, and this is awful. So I don't know if this is gonna have to be edited out, but this is like it's on par with the like with the special ed kids when the school shooter kind of meme. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
This is horrible.
It's awful. I hate it.
I was making a joke about how ghost Pokemon entries are always fucking super ass dark, but okay.
I mean, he was dark. He was being. That was a pretty dark joke.
Do. Anyway. Moving on.
Is there a
We're now going to transition that into the Spectre drama.
Yeah, I gave an abridged version of it earlier, but if you'd like to go on.
Alright. So this is where we get to, another fuck, this, what does Spectre technically count as?
He was like a DeviantArt rant channel, but more in the lines of like he was more of like a Solar Sands type.
True, but he also did videos, so I'm like, he's like a hybrid between slideshow and,
Yeah. Slideshow and rant.
yeah. So, basically, he is a dude who used a voice changer to pretend to be a sexy lizard man. The reason why he wasn't actually like made for sex appeal, it was a guy who looked. It was a lizard dude who was built well, who was in a suit. The internet fucking lost their minds over that design because it's the internet.
right?
Name's
also,
Junkie though.
Scalies looking at you.
Yeah. Name's Junkie too. I mean, like, ooh.
Do not. We haven't even gone to him yet. Do not.
Yep.
I don't need to talk about ketchup and mustard packet right now. We're talking about Spectre.
We're talking about the relish.
Relish.
Alright. So because he was, in that part of the community,
Big hell,
There was-
Luther.
there was two others, there was a group of people who he was involved with that were his friends, called Stories and Pentagram. Now, I'm surprised, if you know, Luther, you should at least have a vague remembrance about Pentagram, because I used to watch her videos and tell you about them before the whole shit happened.
Okay.
So,
I mean, see, I'm not sure if I've committed them to memory completely. I think I know. I think you have shown me. They did they talked during speed paints or something like that, right?
mm-hmm.
I think the only YouTuber that I can recall that you introduced me to, at least the one that I really like going back to, is Rat Scrap. That's just because singing. And also they did my favorite Lion King 2 song. But anyway, let's continue.
Valid. I've shown you a couple people. Mainly, I've shown you Pentagram, Ponder Sprocket, and I can't say her fucking name, honestly, so I'm just not going to the music channel.
Rat Scrap?
Yeah.
Alright.
I always just kind of keep fucking up for some fucking reason, but anyway. So, the major thing is, while Pentagram was somewhat an okay person, she, at least on the surface, in reality, she was a person trying to fucking take down people with big subscriber counts. Initially, she and Stories who was a teenager claiming to be 8 on the internet for clout. Because fucking, I don't know, child mentality, whatever.
Right.
Which, by the way, the only person to call her out on not being 8, besides, like, in the beginning of things was Jar, because Jar's like, no, this is wrong. I can feel this is wrong. No, there is nothing correct about this. Which is how he started to get involved, but anyway, the main thing is, they're going to first attack a guy called Digby the Goat, who was another commentator who pretty much...
Miss that guy.
He was just a furry dude in the slideshow, I think in the slideshow commentary community. I don't know. I've never watched his shit.
Yeah, I know about Digby. He did a lot of, he was like one of those commentary channels. He was, I'll just say, he was like one of those big anti-SJW channels at the time.
Take that, liberal.
The thing Luther was
Not
talking
to
about
that
earlier.
degree.
Liberal crime if he gets burned.
Not to that degree, and also like he changed his content, later. But
I just adore that kind of content in the ironic fashion.
Anyway, moving on. So he was their intended target, and they were trying to destroy his career because, because basically Pentagon and Stories Pentagon wanted to knock someone who was high off of their pedestal and bathe in the afterglow of their destruction, to quote Ponder Sprocket. And eventually, they were going to do that to Digby the Goat. However, because Spoctor didn't want to do that, because he's like, no, what the fuck's wrong with y'all? I'm out. So, instead of doing it to Digby, they did a bunch of fucking horrible allegations against Spoctor, basically lying about him and gaslighting him into accepting that he's guilty with actual pedophile charges and shit. Like, actively calling him a horrible person, a monster, a manipulator, a bastard, and someone who is actively a pedophile who made a giant contest to get porn from minors of his character, which is the giant green lizard man. Even though that's not what happened.
That was how do you make an accusation like that? Like, was it they tried changing the context around something that already happened?
They changed the context because they're like, oh, it's because he did an art contest because he had a lot of people who were artists who liked his community. Because, he was a part of the DeviantArt community. He was pretty much knee deep in an art community, and people liked him. So of course they're drawing character of his OC, and it's like, you know what? I want to do a contest, and I see a lot of people who follow me like to do, kind of sketchy art. So I'm gonna make a thing where they can draw seductive shit that isn't porn, specify it isn't porn, and then also for the people who, for some reason, can only draw me porn of my character, I'm going to go find a site that allows porn to be uploaded so they can send it there so it doesn't affect the minors.
I kind of like that. It's kind of hilarious when there's an artist that once they've gone so far into Rule 34, when they try and draw a normal thing, it just ends up bleeding out. like when furry artists try to draw like a normal dog.
Yeah.
It's like,
and
I don't know why there's so much detail on their saliva, but okay. That's the telling signs.
Yeah, no, pretty much. That's just how how people were. Basically,
that's just how it is. The internet is.
Yeah, people are always going to draw porn.
Well, actually, Luther, I'm a bit surprised you don't remember. Not really, because I know you didn't really care, but because when Pentagrin made the video calling out Spoctor, I was in call with you, and watched it while I was sitting in the Discord with you and got very upset about it and sent you that call out video. Now, I think that was in the old chat that we deleted, so I don't know if we still have it.
Like I said, I wouldn't quite know. Like, because the thing is, I get very confused when it comes to drama stuff, because they're, like, it's the moving parts in situations. Like, sometimes it's a simple thing, like, oh, X made allegations against Y. But then you get into the things that involve, like, multiple people, and just ever since I started, like, I essentially dipped my toes, got burned, and now I just kind of, most of the time when internet drama is brought up, I like to,
It's a hell of a drug.
yeah,
Internet
like I
drama
said,
is
I try to avoid it unless it's somebody I care about, and I gotta figure out, like, all right, so does it turn out this person's a trash man, or were they attacked by trash people?
Yeah, I'm gonna be real here.
Like,
This is also why I don't upload a lot, because I already know that just because of who I had been with in the past. Like, I literally just, no fucking idea of my own safety. But it's great. And also why I refuse to be part of half of your guys' fucking schemes.
you like scheming.
Yeah. Hey, we only scheme, we never really act on it. It's catharsis enough just to imagine it for us.
Listen, I can't help it. I grew up on Ed and Eddie. Scheming is just like in my blood now.
True.
I did too, but you don't see me over here trying to figure out how to fucking. I'm not gonna actually continue that with the example. Actually, no, I'm not gonna do that.
Well, that just becomes the question: did you or did you not relate to Eddie?
I don't know. I think I related most to Ed.
That's the deciding factor.
Even when I was a single child.
Bippy I did.
You bet your sweet Bippy I did.
I just liked Ed because he was funny. I always thought Eddie was kind of a dick.
Well, yeah, that's kind of... Never mind.
I know.
It is the point, but
Yeah.
at the same time, like, it's understandable. When you're young and you see characters being depicted like in a
Does that
negative
make
light,
me Does that make me the double D of this group?
Probably.
Do you think you're smart enough to be a double D?
Oh.
You might be Ed.
Get with it.
Eddie,
We're both just half Eddies. Double D is dead.
You guys
Double D
took
is
one of
died.
the each of you both took one of the D's.
Make a bigger, they said.
Well,
On division in a row. Actually, maybe you are. Maybe you are double D.
I was gonna say something. Never mind. To the comment that Twi made, but forget it.
I'm so glad.
Alright, alright, got it. So I can be Eddie, you are the double D, and Twi's Ed, and then, obviously Aiden is either Jimmy or Johnny 2x4. There, I will accept no other answers.
Then who's the role?
Maybe... Oh, Sal.
Sal.
Sal's easily rolled.
Oh yeah.
That's easy. Easy.
None of these people know who we are.
He's already foreign.
There was
True.
literally no hesitation.
Yeah. None of the people watching, which will be none probably, but know who we're talking about, and that's probably a good thing.
Either way, at some point, if you want to know more about the Sparta drama, I will literally send you the Partner Sprocket videos because all the original videos pertaining to that drama got taken down because Pentagram at the end got hit so hard by Ponder Sprocket, who came in disproving allegations that she left the internet for good. And stories somewhat. We don't know if she's on a different account somewhere trying to fuck other people over, but you know. Jared's one of the people who also defended Spoctor. And then we get to, everything's been chill for the most part.
And then the creep...
No, you take it here, because
creep show art.
The Avengers level threat.
Yeah. So it was like... So, essentially it was like a... Kind of like dominoes, right? It was like
this is what I'm excited for. Like that's
it was.
I think when drama leads to drama in a sense that it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. That's the juicier thing.
It's just because
we got joined by Thomas.
Yeah, welcome to the podcast.
Oh, we're literally actually recording a podcast, so don't dox anybody.
Yeah. So essentially. So the whole creep show stuff, yes, an Avengers level threat, but it also Avengers level build up too. It was like dominoes. Like, yes, roll down one small domino and suddenly towers are falling over. So, where do I start? Okay.
Start with phase 1. They released Iron Man, Incredible Hulk.
Okay. I'm gonna consider this the okay, I'm gonna consider this the Captain America of the drama.
Right. So we're already it's well into the franchise at this point, but we're not at the
because
first
at this point yet. Because Creepshow Art was well established as being the head of the art drama community. She had the biggest follower base. She made videos every day. And she was, considered one of the best in the community because she would help smaller YouTubers out. Right?
Though, as you know, with anyone who uploads daily, that's not a good thing because that means they degrade fast.
Yeah. There's a good quote I like. So, she was probably the most liked in the community. But there's a good quote that I like to recite a lot. The brightest lights cast the darkest shadows. So it really started in 2020 with one of the art commentators called Toby, right? Which she just called Creepshow out on some stuff. I don't really remember exactly everything about it because what happened afterwards kind of overtook that.
It's the aftermath that matters.
Yeah.
The point is they made a call-out video. Okay,
let's put into perspective. Toby critiquing Creepshow Art was essentially the Incredible Hulk. It was there, it happened, but no one really remembers it.
Yeah, they ended up recasting Bruce anyway.
Yeah. And then everyone just kind of piled on Toby because she made a bunch of My Hero Academia abuse art, which was
what?
Yeah.
She was one of those girls that was I can't believe they draw females like this. They're in high school, and then proceeds to draw abused Todoroki
in fucking some bondage gear or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So, that came out, and I'm
rules for thee, but not for me.
How did you quote the entirety of Jar's newest video on accident? What the fuck?
What? That's just a phrase thing. That's just the things people say.
Yeah. I know, but that deserves an iced tea. That
literally is at the core of this entire story. How in the fuck?
So long story
Well,
short,
I mean, it's not too hard when a lot
Why
of the
do you keep
commentary stuff.
interrupting people in the middle of their sentences?
I was responding to your statement.
so
No. Anyway.
so can I talk now?
Oh yeah, go ahead, bud.
So long story short, Creepshow Art called her out on that, which kind of caused everyone in the community to call her out, including people like Just a Robot. And this is where I'd say the Ultron of the whole drama community showed up, which is prison mate Luke. I'd consider him the Ultron.
He's ultra. Wait a minute, isn't he the guy that you keep quoting that says like I can't
believe you would do something like this. Yeah, because he has
there are no strings on me.
He has like the same inflection as Chills. And he also uploads daily, but he's a gaming commentary YouTube channel. And my favorite quote from him is like, I'm a gaming commentary YouTuber, and Creepshow is an art commentary YouTuber, which are both completely different types of channels.
So they're just calling out the factions at this point.
Yeah, exactly. So long story short,
they are of the Blood Axe Nords, while we are of the Ironwood Nords.
To make a long story short, like everyone made videos calling like Toby out on her hypocrisy, and like we thought that you think that would be the end of it. Oh, you're a hypocrite. But then prison mate Luke shows up and decides to beat the dead horse by making like 10 videos about her, reigniting the drama again and again. Over and over.
I guess he really is the Ultron. Does he end up like causing the Sokovia Accords? So when's Civil War coming?
So essentially,
can that be the name of the podcast? Commentary channel Civil War.
Yeah, commentary channel Civil War episode. Yeah, that'll be it.
Avengers.
Yeah, commentary channel Civil War. So, long story short, then all the other commentary channels started making other videos about Toby, like saying like, "Guys, enough is enough." Like, we called her out. She was like, I forget if she like made a formal apology or anything, but like I don't think that matters anymore. If you beat the horse that bad, it's like enough is enough. When will you learn that your actions have consequences?
Dude, just stop!
Yeah, stop! He's already dead.
See, I don't understand how like fans of a channel could stand like 10 entire videos in a row, but like that's what got me like off of Goose Boost, because he just kept talking about groomers on Twitter, and I'm like, God, I get that they're bad, but just shut up.
Yeah. No, okay. So essentially when we finally thought that cleared up, but it didn't, because like it was never, the Toby drama was never truly resolved. They just Creepshow Art just decided to like focus her power on like focus her energy instead of Toby. She redirected it towards I'm sure you'll recognize this name, Hopeless Peaches.
I don't.
Oh, she was just another like art channel, not even a commentary channel. Most of the time she just gave like art tips and stuff. And what they did to her was just wrong.
Oh Lord, this is
so like
this is gonna be.
She also critiqued Creepshow Art during the Toby drama, which caused Creepshow to
flip her shit,
pretty much call her flip her shit.
Hold on. I will ask. So like at this point, Creepshow is still like the top dog, Apex Predator.
Top dog.
She is still Apex.
Yep.
By the way,
She is the
she,
apex.
she has a
and
beta. I'm gonna put this here. She has a beta cuck who is going to come in very important soon, and you will know his name.
Yeah.
And so, okay, is she the Thanos in this?
Yeah, she's definitely the Thanos in this.
I mean, I argue that that's Ponder.
No, but Ponder's a good guy.
And
Ponder can be Tony.
Ponder,
no,
I'd say,
no,
is the Iron Man.
Yeah, Ponder is Iron Man.
Wait, hold on. It's just a robot Vision?
Yes!
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sure.
Should I draw just a robot as Vision now?
I mean, you could probably just edit the colors on his avatar.
Literally, and put a gem
All
in
you
his forehead.
need.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
he's going in the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Just a Vision.
Just a Vision.
Jarvis.
I hate it.
Yo. Okay. So anyway, they just decided to focus everything onto Hopeless Peaches and say, pretty much come up with every lies and take everything she said in the worst possible way. So they essentially called her a abuser, a manipulator, and they said, like, one tweet was like, they said Peaches said something along the lines of, like, I need to take a break. This isn't good for my mental health anymore. Which they kind of bastardized into saying she was suicide baiting.
And that claim was stirred up by prison mate Luke.
Yep.
And someone
who
So
also
Ultron is still around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the bad timeline.
He was.
Yeah. He was.
When he was still here.
Yep.
I will ask real quick. So you said the term suicide baiting.
Yes.
Because I heard you say that before. Is this another card that they use in their deck?
Yeah.
This is when the card was revealed.
It is a good trap card, but also like a good reverse trap card. Intentionally misconstruing words is another popular spell card that they like to use.
It's an MST. You'll find it in every deck.
Yes. Misconstruing words to make it sound the worst way possible is the Mystical Space Typhoon. What's the Raigeki of the commentary channels?
What's an Raigeki?
Calling him a pedophile.
Oh yeah,
that's how you destroy all monsters on the field.
Oh god.
He's being a pedophile.
Yeah. So fuck. Lost my train of thought. So, yeah. So the hate train started going towards Peaches, right? Who, at the time, was not fully aware of it because she decided to kind of, like, remove herself from that community. And she made a video essentially talking about how she was groomed, right? Mm-hmm. And everyone thought she was trying to, like, gain sympathy and, like, or that's what the commentary channels thought. They're like, oh, she's just saying this now to gain sympathy so she can avoid these accusations and doesn't have to look bad.
This is mostly by Kai and Omnia, by the way.
Yep. Kai and Omnia. Kai, Wes, and Omnia. They're probably my least favorite characters in this arc.
Are they part of the villain team or part of the...
They're definitely like the subordinates. Like Thanos' subordinates.
Oh,
they're on the villain
telepathy
team,
one and the strongman one?
Like the Sunday villains because they're fucking pathetic.
Yeah. So they started the whole like, Peaches is just faking in these stories so that she can look better. So which caused people to go to her channel, tell her that she was faking it. Which, put this into perspective. Say you like had some like big traumatic experience, right? And you finally feel brave enough to come clean about it and like say this happened. Imagine if everyone told you that you were faking it.
Yeah, that one's gotta suck.
Yeah. And it didn't help that prison mate Luke made like exaggeration because I'm not going back to count, but like 20 videos on fucking Peaches.
Do you mean how he basically for almost a month he made daily videos about her, calling her shit, lying about her? But the funniest thing is, Luke's audience, because he was using a loophole in order to be relevant, and that people usually put him on for background noise. They don't look in his videos, so he could put literally anything he was talking about on there, undoctored, without doing any of the shit. So he could be lazy as fuck, and everyone would believe him. But then if you read his screenshots, it actively disproves what he's saying.
There came a point where like, because there was like at one point where Peaches did like tweet about prison mate Luke, and he's like, he was like, she said something along the lines of like, don't harass him, but I am not happy with what he's saying about me.
So, from what it's sounding like, prison mate Luke just has the strategy of just like, he just uploads, so he's running a pendulum deck before they were balanced out, where he's just like throwing monsters onto the field, like special summoning them like by the hand. And then Peaches, and then I shouldn't make too many Yu-Gi-Oh references here, but this is.
And then
go ahead.
We gotta go back. We gotta fit into the Avengers theme. Okay, he's making a lot. He's controlling the Iron Man suits. He's and then Creepshow at the same time was like also like in support of that, being like, it's all like true. It's all true. Everything. And then Kai and Omnia were also like, and she faked everything. Every problem she has, it's all faked. She was a suicide baiter. She didn't get groomed and all.
She was just an attention whore.
That face down card is a trap card. They're doing the suicide bait, guys.
And
meanwhile, it
none
was
of this
just
time,
an honest story.
And in none of this time did any of them actually like get Peach's side of the story. So then Just a Robot came out and was like, you guys are all fucking idiots. Just like Vision came out at the end of Avengers 2. There we go. He is Vision.
Also, he did the same thing in the Spectre drama, I should say earlier, because he was the one that called out stories. Because it was Jar and Pondersprock. Pondersprock did the heavier blow, but Jar was the one who also was the actual supporting hero. Yeah.
Also PK Russell, but we don't really like to talk about him.
I'm gonna be real. He was there for that, but after that, just no.
Yeah.
Is he like Ant-Man? Do people not really? Is he not as important to the MCU here?
He was there, but like he's not a hero. He was like an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
He's part of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Nobody watched that.
Yeah,
he's a background character.
Yeah.
Although I will say, small tangent, they had freaking Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I didn't know that until like recently. That's crazy.
Bro, why didn't they just make a fucking Ghost Rider movie?
I know, Robbie Reyes is one of the coolest Ghost Riders because he was part of the Ghost Racers comic, and that's just so cool. But anyway.
Yeah. So long story short, all the other commentary community channels were like, Prison Mate, Luke, Creepshow Art, Kai and Omnia, you guys are all assholes. I'm summing it up, but essentially, yeah.
We should probably also bring up something important, because we are skipping over an event.
What was it?
Because of the whole thing, while the Hopeless Features drama was going on, Jar and two others were responding to the Toby thing, because, reminder, while this Hopeless Peaches thing was going on, so was also the Toby drama that was still unresolved.
Yep. Oh, right. And because fucking Hopeless Peaches was helping, it was Jar and Manga Common, right?
Jar, Manga Common, and Fuchsia Butters were all worked together to make a video on Toby that was originally just one for manga comment, just going to be a video manga comment was doing, and Peaches looks over. Peaches is an editor where she fixes grammar stuff, but all she had done to that script, because they use Google Docs, was she changed a single grammar mistake before she was kicked off the editing team, because the other people who joined in the project were like, we're going to switch this out because that way you don't have to worry about getting in trouble for any of this shit. Didn't fucking fix it though. Because
Yep.
someone by the name of, the name's Junkie, the fucking ketchup and mustard packet dragon,
Yeah.
fucking leaked the script in the middle of all this drama to actually make the Peaches drama worse, because now it looks like Peaches tried to fucking make people attack Toby to make her look better.
He's the Loki.
Yeah. Why are you laughing? We're telling you he's
Such a
Loki
matter-of-fact
and you're laughing.
Yeah.
We're telling you about Loki and you're laughing.
Yeah.
We gotta work on the chronology. I think, Marvel in their phases had a bit more
Wait a minute.
like it's
Yeah.
at least it's not as bad as like a DC movie timeline where
Yeah.
you try to look at it and then you want to die. But
I mean, at the very least,
it's
it's a lot harder, because the thing is, to talk about the dramas, we could talk about them honestly how they happened. But the thing is, recently, the whole reason why there's all the new videos coming out is because the name's Junkie basically inflated those past dramas that we're currently talking about.
Yeah.
Which is also why I'm bringing it up here.
Yeah.
Because basically it's, again, your statement, rules for thee, not for me, and a lot of backstabbing.
Yeah. And to make a long story short, at the end of it, it had come out that Creepshow Art was kind of the master manipulator behind everything, and had even doxed Hopeless Peaches and was blackmailing her to not make a response. And so once that
people
came out,
realized Thanos was Thanos.
yeah. And at that point, it was like the finger snap where everyone realized, oh, Creepshow. And so then everyone started going on Creepshow. And then she made such a non-apology where it was like, oh, my computer was hacked. None of this was me, even though it logs back to like from 3 years ago.
Let's not forget that Creepshow Art was also on locale forums.
Yeah.
And doxed her own sister on locale forums. For
Not
the
to mention
audacity of being in the hospital.
Not to mention being extremely racist and homophobic.
Yikes. So
then she left the internet.
Oh yeah, no, before you put that, another fact. Basically, the
Low
Thanos
taste.
there, every single small person she helped, she then would proceed to bash horribly on locale forums. To the point where locale exposed her because they had her account information and could prove it was her, and then proceeded to do so because she broke the locale's terms of service.
For the sake of reference, you have to. What is locale forums? Just explain this.
Do you know
5.
4chan.
Imagine like 4chan, but like not as 4chan. Just anonymous forums. That like
are they kind of
think like
they're like focus on locales, like the people that you kind of
but also like trying to find like farm other locales. So Creepshow was there pretty much throwing everyone else under the bus.
Okay.
Well,
it's that kind of situation.
Yeah. Think like Encyclopedia Dramatica or Kiwi Farms.
Encyclopedia Dramatica is dying so hard.
Yeah.
Alright, real quick for reference, Chase, welcome to our podcast about the commentary community.
This is
Well,
just
it's the
episode one.
this is just an episode. This is
Yeah.
it's called Commentary Community Civil War. We're taking a look at how the MCU correlates with these commentary channels, which, from my perspective, being an outsider, primarily, I'm looking. So I just want to my thoughts currently at the current juncture. I'm going to be the film critic real quick. I haven't read the comics, but so what I'm seeing here is it seems that there's some deep-seated issue in this that's just causing this perpetual cycle of raising somebody up, and then either that person is a force for betterment in a community, or they're ones that want to tear people down in order to preserve their spot, which we're seeing in Creepshow art, where they kind of preserved their place by doing all these sneaky tactics and whatnot.
Yes.
Essentially, yes.
And I'm not
All right.
She also has.
You guys mentioned.
I mean, I'm
You
also
guys
gonna
mentioned.
add on something important here. She basically was stalking another artist
Oh, that
for
too.
3 years.
All right. So I'm gonna let you take over on that. I'm gonna tag out and check on my laundry again.
Okay, you go tag out. I'm not talking about that anymore because that is something where I'm going to be honest with you. There are so many videos that you will have to watch, and I will happily link them to you after the podcast if you want to watch them.
Just to understand that whole spiel. So is this really a good guys bad guys scenario, or is this more of the lesser evils? I want to figure out are there any people that are objectively people that you can root for in this? Who's Tony? Who's Cap? And we already know Just a Robot is Vision.
Just a Robot is Vision. We already said Iron Man is Ponder Sprocket.
Alright.
Ponder Sprocket, who is pretty much a person who likes studying mental things and stuff. I'm not quite sure what her stuff is because I don't fuck with her personal life, because that's hers and hers alone. But she's the most well-spoken commentary channel I have ever found. Also, she's the artist I looked up to, but whatever. But to put it bluntly, if you want people who you want to look to Mega Common, who's a bit controversial technically, not because of his own fault, but because people really just like to not watch his videos and just comment whatever because of the topic he's talking about.
So he's more like a Tony. Although if Sprocket is Iron, does that make Sprocket Cap then?
She might be Captain America. I wouldn't be that. It might be.
So yeah, we're gonna put the more because I feel like when in the topic of the MCU, that's the one that is more easily able to get themselves.
I mean, I get why you're comparing them. I personally don't understand it. The problem is...
Listen, I'm grasping for straws at this because what's the problem? Because I think we're gonna be thinking the same thing.
That there's not even that many people. Peaches has 2 friends who stood up for her, and then meanwhile, the problem with this drama is that there's 2 different masterminds. Because there's 2 different things happening at the same time behind the scenes. There's Creepshow, who basically is just this really shitty ass motherfucking person. Done a bunch of horrible, illegal shit, has roots in everything, has been doing horrible shit to this tiny art person who doesn't deserve it because they're that deluded because they have degraded so fast from just becoming reactionary to everything because that's how she has to be to do content daily. I don't know if she used to be good. I don't know if she was always a shit person. Doesn't fucking matter. Moving on. The other person is the name's Junkie, who has been turning people against each other, fucking doing shit like complaining that someone's trying to blackmail him if he is asked beforehand if our conversation can be recorded. Who leaks scripts to inflate drama, basically leaving friends to hang and dry by not defending them, and then barely defending them after the drama ends. Basically, it's really hard because there's so few good guys because everybody else there's so many people that just turn despicable. And I'm just sitting here like, what in the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I think that is like where the issue lies, because like at the end of the day, when you have like,
because explaining it is really hard because we don't remember every single fucking detail that's in those videos to explain to you also.
I'm not. That's not what I'm. That's I think another like a more simple issue with this is that if you now this may not be to the fault of the people in question, but if you have a like if you create content and you have a not insignificant portion of that content being related to this drama and talking about it, like it's kind of gonna end up being like this. Like it kind of reminds me of it's like it's kind of like Dance Moms in a way.
I'm gonna be real. I have no idea what that's like, so I cannot really.
Well, all you have to know is that it's reality TV, right? It's like, and the reason I even know about Dance Moms is because I used to be in dance, and
it's
obviously
it's like the little pageant girl moms.
Kinda, but not. It's not as it's not as bad as the actual pageant crap. It's like I used to be in dance, and obviously the literal dance moms would make references and jokes about dance moms because it's like, oh, hey, we're the dance moms, and oh, we're gonna get into drama and stuff. But it's like, when you put your focus on drama, then like obviously that's what the audience is going to expect, So it's like you're gonna kind of get that, like.
Well, I mean that's a bit different because the whole entire thing is a lot of shit that happens is like there has been multiple dramas that have happened that were smaller but don't get made into videos because they're handled behind closed doors, like how most people do. It's people trying to tear others down for clout that kicks off everything. People who have been actively lying and manipulating others for their own gain has been pretty much the kickoff for everything. Because they're the fuckers going public with shit. They're the fuckers going to the reactionary people, shoving it in their face and making them get angry while the other people respond to it to make sure that people don't fucking hate mob. Because the thing with the commentary community is that there's a dumbass hate mob because people blindly believe people who are big.
Well,
so it's like, the thing is, like, yes, they don't want this, and yes, this is not what they want to do the content about, but they do it because, fuck if I'm going to sit here and let some poor small channel get fucking stampeded for shit they didn't really do.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I'm not saying that every channel that talks about drama is, like, secretly going like, we gotta create more of it. Yeah, see? No,
That-
I'm
that-
trying to say that, like,
I'm also,
in that...
Eh.
Go ahead.
I was trying to say that not every channel that talks about it is talking about it to get more of it. A lot of the
I
times,
know, that's...
what they do is they end it.
Well, yeah, but there's probably an argument to be said that everybody wants the last word, to be fair.
No.
Like, if you make a
Yeah.
discussion online, most people want to be the last word. Because the last word is the one said by the wisest and most authoritarian in the room. Like, that's just how that
No.
happens. Like,
Really?
are you sure? Because that's...
No, like, I'm just gonna be real here. In my experience online, everyone has referred to people who come, like, late to a conversation or try to get the last word in as a fucking moron and to shut up. That is, I have never heard someone come in later and be called wise. I've
No.
only heard them
That's
being told
the
to
thing.
shut up.
I'm not saying like that's you're kind of missing the point. I'm not saying that the person who gets the last word is always seen as that. I'm saying that people would want that because like it's traditionally what it's like, but you know the zeitgeist isn't like that really anymore. If that makes sense. Like
No, I don't know what a
You're-
zeitgeist is. This
the
is why.
point. the zeitgeist basically refers to culture in general, like the current goings on. I'm saying that things are different nowadays. People, but at the end of the day, I think like, but that's why there are people that come in late and want to get the last word. Though it's like, why else would you want to do that if not to be the one that says like, "Look at me, I'm the," like. It's like it's kind of like the thing where
Basically,
you
you're
just
saying
hop
cloud
in,
chasers.
say both sides are wrong, and then leave. You know, it's like
Yeah.
I'm not saying all people are like that, but people are. There's this perception of that's in a much more positive light than it actually is nowadays. Because you know what you want to, what people want to see is
I mean,
like
I
the channel that puts an end to it, gets the evidence together and makes a well thought out argument that dismantles the situation and calls people out properly. Like that's the proper. That I'm pretty sure that's like the proper ending to most of these, right?
that is usually the proper ending, and it's usually certain people because a lot of other people jump on evidence or misconstrue it, or, you know, are doing it for clout. Meanwhile, the other people are like, "What the fuck? You can't accuse some kid online of being a pedophile. That can ruin their life forever. Why are you so stupid?" Kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
You turned this to being a thing about this is what has happened to let's talk philosophy.
Well, that's what it's because at the end of the day, you know, like the reason
the end
that
of the day, people are horrible. There's the ending.
Hold on, no, because you're being reductive. You have to think at like because there's like a root to all this. It's not like we're going to be talking about commentary channels for every episode of the podcast. So I want to get to the point of like what causes this? Like what's the root of this? And I think the root of this is if you talk about drama online, you're going to be attracting a community that likes that sort of drama and wants to see the fight go down. It's the reason why you can see people fighting on the street and their phones come out, you know? It's just a thing that happens.
It's become
Yeah.
entertainment.
Yeah,
And I'm not
because our
saying
lives are
that's-
so uninteresting that we have to resort to internet drama to entertain ourselves.
I mean, that's also why theory death games in media have picked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the end of the day, Hunger Games is just online drama.
Bruh! Don't. I already had enough trying to figure out what you fucking aligning fucking commentators to MCU. Don't. I hate you.
Listen, okay? The artists are
hate you.
District 10.
I hate you. Why am I dating you?
So what did I miss?
Okay, so
I barely got through the goddamn Hopeless Peaches drama. I didn't even
Well,
get
no,
to
I
the
thought
fun part of how Jar got to punch Luke in the face through video form multiple times, and it was great.
Yeah, so
Because he started
basically after
talking
that...
philosophy.
because I wanted to, because I'm the outside perspective,
Fuck you.
and I want to. Well, I just wanted to be a little, think about the.
Fuck you.
That's what it's a podcast. It's all about discussing things. We're not here just
I'm
to.
aware, but I
It's
said
true.
fuck you.
We're not here to say the entire story of what goes on. We're also. I want to comment on it because that's.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm the commentary channel.
Yeah, you are.
I've become the commentary.
Also, good news, my clothes are dry.
Yay!
Oh,
Also,
yes.
I was kind of baiting Luther into getting to that point. I'm glad it worked.
She was
Yo.
baiting me. I've been baited.
You've been gaslit.
I've been gaslit and baited.
So yeah, and then
I'm
the whole...
making a call-out post on my TwilitOkami.
I mean, Jar just made a call-out post on his YouTube.com.
Oh yeah, isn't that kind of like what's causing this whole thing?
Yeah.
So
This was just like the intro.
So let's. Yeah, like we're
By the
no
way,
no
your
we're
turn
giving
again.
background. We're giving
Oh, that's right. I
background
did
to
have
the
chicken
commentary
tenders in the
community.
fridge. Well, not eating those.
This is now the Chicken Tender Podcast. Get used to
You
it.
can't just keep changing the name of the podcast.
I kind of want to though.
I just want you to know, I'm going to draw an asset of a bowl of chicken tenders. I expect you to have them in front of you when you say this in the podcast.
Alright, just send me the PNG when you're done.
Good. I'm totally not eating sunflower seeds during this.
And it better be a PNG. I swear to God, if you send me another JPEG.
Fucker, I don't send JPEGs often.
Good. So
Good.
anyway.
All right, so we just to recap. All right, so phase 1, the early days. That was the Creepshow. Creepshow's like in charge, and the Toby, I think it was drama.
Toby.
Oh,
Yeah, the Toby drama.
I mean, that was just
starts
last
up.
year. That was
No,
last year, like
that
2012.
was the middle arc. The beginner arc was the stuff we told you about Jar's beginning with the
Spockter.
other thing and the Spock.
Yeah.
No, that's his backstory.
That's his backstory, and then the Spock thing.
His
was the first one.
Jar's backstory is the Heather's arc.
Yeah, Heather's arc is backstory. Spockter drama is the beginning. This is the middle, and now the next part I'm gonna have Carl say it because I'm so tired of talking to you right now.
So what, you want me to explain the whole, Wait,
Yeah, so
what part are we on?
this is... Are we in the post-Creepshow arc right now? Like...
Yeah.
Because I heard you said that she left the internet after her apology didn't work.
Her non-apology.
Yeah.
And so we're kind of in a sort of void right now where, like... I mean, not really, because, like, now people are finally going after Kai and Omnia. Because...
They're taking out the stragglers.
Yeah, they're like...
Oops,
Huh?
I went to unmute my mic in the recording, hit stop recording, so now I've restarted the recording. Oopsies.
Okay, well, are we not recording anymore?
No, we're recording now.
Okay.
But wait, damn it.
Yeah. I will
But
say
yeah,
this.
They're finally picking off.
To explain who Kai and Ami are real quick, they are literally a black commentary couple.
The henchmen of Creepshow art, essentially, they were.
We already discussed them. You said that they were the...
I also was bringing
were
up
like
what they are because Kai brings up that he's a black man and plays the racism card throughout this entire next bit. So
Add
that is
to the bingo
that
board.
is a powerful card to use.
Add it to the bingo board.
I just needed to tell you. I'll also draw a bingo board.
Kai and Omnia, essentially Ronin from Guardians of the Galaxy.
All right.
Got to get my Marvel reference in there. So yeah, people are finally going after them after Kai pretty much copyright struck a channel talking about him, pretty much calling him out, and then bragging about it. So then everyone turned on them, and it's like, you know what? Fuck you. I mean, and within this huge thing, there was like other drama going on with John Swan, but
Who's this character?
he was basically like he was just another commentary channel, but he more so focused on bigger YouTubers. So he was more like talking about Keemstar and shit.
Oh, so he was attempting to get into the big leagues.
Yeah, which I've accepted that we won't get into, but if we do, anyway.
Trust me, I already know. I know exactly where we are.
Long story short, he got into shit because he started impersonating Dream. Yes, the Dream, and saying a bunch of slurs online as Dream, and then trying to play it off as like, guys, look, Dream is saying these slurs. Which did not work out for him at all. But then he still stuck around. And so as he was doing so he's pretty much like the big guy that killed Kai. Because essentially he was like going over the drama, right? Going over the shit of like, wow, Kai's such an asshole for copyright striking commentary videos about him.
Yeah, I can't believe that he'd be allowed on YouTube.
Not like that, but like,
I know. I just love making fun of prison.
Yeah, no, he is a good punching bag.
If you're watching this, fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
I can't believe Casey Berger and Dandy Cadet would slander me like this.
Honestly, this unfounded accusation.
Fuck you.
And TwilitOkami too.
Women shouldn't be on podcasts.
Says the bitch who can't read.
Well, to make a long story short, Kai deleted his channel. Which, to be fair, good riddance. But also now everything's just going on to Omnia now.
He threw his girlfriend under the bus.
Yeah, because they were like partners in crime. So essentially, he just like ditched her and threw her under the bus.
That's so cruel. Just like Lamau by.
Yeah.
If you ever do that to me, I'm going to your house and ripping out your spine and then shoving it down your throat.
Bro, my favorite thing is like...
That implies you'd ever come up to New York.
I will.
My favorite thing is like when Omnia made a video about Creepshow after it all came out, and she was like trying to act like shocked and shit, and then she was like,
I'm not
I'm gonna keep
henchmen.
Yeah, I didn't contribute to any of this at all. Like, she tried to play that, like, oh, I was manipulated too, even though I was like the second worst contributor to all this shit. So yeah.
Even though Creepshow wasn't the one who claimed that the grooming video was fake and then proceeded to use the grooming thumbnail as a way to insinuate that Peaches was bad. Oh god!
Yeah. So that's where we are now.
Embarrassing.
I'd say we're in a bit of a filler arc right now.
Right.
Because like we're definitely past Endgame. I feel like that was the end game.
We're learning backstories and hidden stories too.
Phase 4 hasn't really come into its own quite yet.
Right now we're just kind of in like the character backstory arcs. So this is like the post-war arc.
All right, so Just Robot's new video, which started all of this discussion, that I think that was, you said that was the one that talks about his backstory.
Yep.
Meaning that Vision and Shang-Chi are the same person, and that was his backstory. Even though we kind of saw him being made in Ultron, technically, but like not in this canon. This is a different MCU here.
Yeah.
This is my commentary YouTubers. YouTubers spelled with just a U.
YouTubers.
Academia. What? YouTubers. Commentary YouTubers. All right, so that's the commentary community.
Yep.
We have our players. We'll probably have to put more thought into who's actually who, because we're gonna like it like we try discussing like, all right, who would the heroes be? The problem is that it's really hard to do that in situations like this because
there's like 3 fucking heroes.
it's like people will end up like things come out and they end up shitty, and that's just like how it is.
You either die the hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
And that's why they killed off Tony and Cap.
Yep.
I don't like that how that implies that Ponder Sprocket's going to die off.
If Ponder Sprocket ends up like dying by some tragedy, I would feel so bad.
If she does, I'm blaming you.
I did.
I'm going to have to interject on that. Where we have no control over someone's life or death.
I know, but I'm gonna blame Luther. Either way.
Danny Cadet killed them. The drama came out.
No.
Is that how I start my? Start my drama with you? Danny Cadet killed Ponder Sprocket.
Well, Ponder Sprocket's still alive, and he's going like, guys, why is everybody talking about me dead?
Ponder's a girl.
Oh, I mix him up with Spocter.
I mean, I could kill
her up with Spocter.
Yeah, I mean, I could say you killed Spocter too.
Yeah, Danny Cadet killed Spocter and Ponder Sprocket.
Actual murdered.
Literal, actual manslaughter and woman slaughter. Or, in this case, woman slaughter and lizard slaughter. So I just got a message from my brother.
Is this is a
and
good
this
time
probably
to
isn't
end
going
this
on
recording.
this probably isn't going on the podcast, but I just want to say this. He said, so I